Welcome to the AI and corpus-aided self-directed interactive English pronunciation training course. This is session 2, focusing on English suprasegmentals. In this session, you will learn to compare common English suprasegmental features among learners with different language backgrounds by using our corpus, and improve your suprasegmental features performance with two AI tools, Murph and Speaker Coach. Still, we recommend you follow our corpus and AI pronunciation learning procedure. You may just bear these steps in your mind. First, check the corpus data and identify the common features produced by speakers with different language backgrounds. Second, self-reflect and check if you have these features in your speech. And third, give prompts to the AI tools to receive feedback on each feature. But checking the corpus data is still needed while communicating with the AI tools to get successful repair. In our previous session, you've explored using our corpus to check segmental features. Today, we'll shift our focus to suprasegmental features. To access the corpus, please scan the QR code provided on the screen. The corpus provides detailed phonological annotations on the following suprasegmental features, including absence of and inappropriate pausing, absence of CV linking, inappropriate lexical stress, and inappropriate intonation. Common suprasegmental features for Hong Kong, mainland Chinese, and non-Chinese learners of English have been summarized according to the corpus data. Before I show you the list, can you make a guess as to whether learners from different language backgrounds have different suprasegmental features? Now let's check the list together. The yellow cell in this table indicates a specific suprasegmental feature can be observed in a particular group of learners. You may notice that the first three features, particularly the absence of CV linking, are commonly shared by Chinese learners regardless of their dialect backgrounds. Filipino learners have a similar pattern to that of Chinese learners, while it is interesting to note that Pakistani learners only have the feature of absence of pausing. We can use the search function in the corpus to see which speakers have a specific feature. It is quite user-friendly, just a one-step search. After selecting one of the suprasegmental features, the result will be shown directly. Let's see how many Hong Kong learners have the features of inappropriate pausing, absence of CV linking, and inappropriate intonation. These features were analyzed focusing on 5 specific sentences from learners' performances in a passage reading aloud task. Before I show you the marking scheme, please try reading the following 5 sentences first. Here are the suggested pausing. Any consonant-vowel linking you can identify. Here are the suggested CV linking. You might notice that the 5 sentences are of different types. What intonation patterns would you use for these sentences? Here are the possible intonation. You can access the marking scheme on each speaker's data page for passage 1. In addition to in-text annotation, this corpus also provides graphic illustration for suprasegmental features. In the graphic annotation, you can obtain information of linking, pausing, lexical stress, and intonation. For example, this Hong Kong learner has 2 inappropriate pauses. Let's listen to the recording.
Most native speakers of English can, for example, recognize people from France by their French accents.
Here is a recording of a Mandarin speaker.
Will you manage to make progress, or will you just give up?
So, 3 inappropriate pauses can be identified. Now let's listen to the recording of a Hong Kong Cantonese speaker who failed to use CV linking
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Here is another example of absence of CV linking. This one is from a Mandarin speaker.
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
This is an example of inappropriate intonation from a Hong Kong learner. Let's see what intonation pattern she used for the closed choice alternative question.
Will you manage to make progress or will you just give up?
Now let's listen to the recording of a Mandarin speaker who used inappropriate intonation for a tag question.
But old habits won't change without a lot of hard work, will they?
Compared to the inappropriate pause frequently used by Hong Kong Cantonese and Mandarin speakers, pauses are rarely used by Filipino speakers during passage reading. Let's listen to the recording of a Filipino speaker together.
Most native speakers of English can, for example, recognize people from France by their French accents.
Some of you may think there is a pause between can and for based on listening, but according to acoustic analysis, no pause is identified here. This raises a question we need to consider. To what extent is the presence or absence of a pause is acceptable? When it comes to learning English pronunciation, relying on just one sample is often insufficient. It is beneficial to expose ourselves to a variety of samples from native speakers. By doing so, we can explore different accents and find the one that suits us best for imitation and practice. So we suggest using advanced AI tools to generate additional sample recordings. Now let's listen to the recordings. Can you tell which two of the following recordings are from real people?
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language? Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
So the first and the fourth recordings are from real people, while the rest are generated using a text-to-speech AI tool, Murph. Murph is a text-to-speech AI tool which offers a selection of 100% natural-sounding AI voices in 20 languages. By using Murph, we can generate tailor-made samples and imitate their pronunciation. Here is a demonstration video of how to use Murph. Let's watch it together.
Today, I will introduce a human-like text-to-speech AI tool, which is called Murph. You can ask the tool to read aloud any paragraphs or passages. Please use this QR code to get access to this platform and create an account. Then you can get access to the interface of this AI tool. Click Open Studio, and then Create Project. You can enter the text that you would like to ask the tool to read, and select a voice. You can choose male or female, age, and accent of the voice. You can also choose the tone of this voice. For example, happy or sad. The pitch and speed are also modifiable. To make the voice naturally, you can also add pauses. For example, you can add a strong pause after a sentence, and a medium pause when there is a comma. Let's look at an example. I selected the poem, When You Are Old by William Butler Yeats. I asked the AI tool to read this poem, using a sad tone, with a relatively lower speed. I also added suggested pauses. Then, click Generate Audio and play. Let's listen to the AI tool's production.
When You Were Old by William Butler Yeats. When you were old and gray and full of sleep, and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true? But one man loved the pilgrim's soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur, a little sadly, how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars.
It's human-like, right? When you would like to practice your pronunciation, you can ask this tool to make a tailor-made sample and imitate. You wouldn't have expected it. But the voice in this video is generated by AI. Surprise? Thank you for your watching.
I generated 2 samples for the sentence used in the corpus. Let's listen to the recordings.
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Why do people usually have an accent when they speak a second language?
Do you notice the CV linking used by the 2 speakers? Let's just focus on these instances containing CV linking.
Have an accent.
Have an accent.
Speaker.
Speaker.
Here is another sample, generated for the free speech task.
In this November, I visited Osaka with my husband for 10 days. It has been 5 years since we last traveled, because of the pandemic. Therefore, we were so excited to be visiting our favorite country again.
Can you identify CV linking in this recording? The CV linking includes visited Osaka. It has and because of. Now, it's your turn to use Murph to generate one sample recording of a short paragraph of the story that you prepared last session. You may follow the steps listed on the screen. At the end of the session, we would like to introduce a new AI tool, Speaker Coach. Similar to Immersive Reader, it also provides a private and personalized environment where users can practice reading speech and presentation, and offers automatic, real-time feedback while learners are practicing. Let's watch the demo video on how to use Speaker Coach.
In this video, we will guide you step by step through the use of Speaker Coach to improve your presentation skills. Now, let's get started. Open your presentation in PowerPoint for the web, and please ensure that you've signed in with a personal Microsoft account. Click on Slideshow tab on the ribbon, below the title bar, then select Rehearse with Coach. The PowerPoint is displayed in a full-screen view and a small window is shown in the bottom right corner of your screen. When you're ready, click on Start Rehearsing in the lower right corner. Make sure to enable the Show Real-Time Feedback option below the button, so you can receive on-screen guidance from Speaker Coach while rehearsing. For example, when I Besides, the coach also gave feedback on the words I mispronounced, with playable recordings from native speakers.
Firstly, let's take a close look at the participants. 19 participants were involved in this study, including 4 native speakers of Southern British English and 15 Hong Kong Cantonese ESL learners.
Participants.
When it noticed a slower pace, the coach prompted me to speak a bit faster in terms of pace.
Within, with over 97% of the words falling within the K1 and K2 word lists.
When the coach noticed that I was reading the slides word for word, it recommended avoiding such reliance. Instead, it encouraged me to summarize the key points in a more original manner.
Namely, the beginning of data collection and 12 months later.
Additionally, the coach recognized my progress and offered motivating feedback, such as, "Off to a good start. Keep at it."
Well, a one-way ANOVA was employed to examine the differences of CSP occurrences among native speakers and Hong Kong learners at 2 different time points for each CSP category and overall CSPs.
When you're done rehearsing, just press Escape key on your keyboard to exit the current view. And you'll receive a report that includes a summary of your performance, including details on the amount of time spent, the number of slides rehearsed, your pace, fillers, repetitive language, inclusiveness, pitch, originality, and pronunciation. In terms of pronunciation, it's worth noting that in addition to the list of frequently mispronounced words, the coach offers the opportunity to listen to recordings of native speakers pronouncing these words at both fast and slow speeds, and also allows users to practice pronunciation while receiving instant corrective feedback.
Elicited. Elicited. Elicited.
Elicited.
Now please practice one short paragraph using Speaker Coach yourself. Here is the step-by-step guidance. Please note that the rehearsal report cannot be downloaded, so you can take screenshots of your reports and compare your performance each time. That's the end of the session.